We're here for the gentle restorative yoga blend now. I have, as always, a big stack of bolsters, cushions, pillows, blankets, towels, whatever you've got. We'll be using that in the second half of class for our restorative portion. In the first portion, I do have my little belt that I carry around these days to use as a strap. If you have a strap, that's even better, but I've got a belt. A cloth belt is nice if you've got it, to use that. You won't have to have this, but it might be helpful to you at times. Today we'll be focusing on, well, not focusing, but spending a little extra time on hamstrings. So as we go through, there'll be a few times where we spend a little extra stretching out our hamstrings, loosening them up, finding some length in them. But for starters, we'll just come to a comfortable seated position. And you're always welcome to sit on a stack of blankets. You might find that more comfortable. You might also get a better form with your hips more level with your knees. Let's come to stillness here. Take a moment to stack the spine and roll the shoulders back and let our eyes briefly close. Just relax your hands on your thighs and bring your awareness to your breath. And as we begin to become aware of how long our inhales are and how long our exhales are, let's begin to lengthen our exhales. So perhaps count the inhale and then try to double that on the exhale. So if you're inhaling for 3 counts, try to exhale for 6 counts. Try to keep this a nice, easy breath. These longer exhales should be calming to our nervous systems. Let's return to normal breath. Let's take a deep inhale through the nose, sigh out through the mouth, seal the lips, and we'll breathe in and out through the nose using Ujjayi breath. Perhaps feeling a light constriction in the back of your throat, so you can just hear your breath. It sounds like the ocean. This breath helps us build heat in the body. We'll open our eyes. Stack the spine tall, press the crown of the head toward the ceiling, and just tip the chin down towards your collarbone. Try to keep lots of length in the back of your neck so you're still lifting up the back of your head. Raise the chin. Let's turn the head to the right. Breathe. Come back to center. Turn the head to the left. Take a breath. Come back to center. Tipping the right ear to the right shoulder. Feel free to rest your hand on your head. Give a little more stretch in the side of the neck and elevate your scapula. Breathe. Come back to center. Now tipping the left ear toward the left shoulder. Again with the option to just rest your hand. Deepening the stretch down the side of the neck into levator scapula. Come back to center. Levator scapula is the little muscle that raises your shoulder blades. Levator like elevator, scapula like shoulder blade. Let's inhale and lift up. Let's exhale and press down. Inhale, lift. Keeping those shoulders sliding down your back. Press and lift. Press. Let's shift our weight to the left and drop down to the left forearm. Inhale the right arm up and over. Now we'll use that breath to expand the right side of the rib cage. And as we exhale, we can sink a little deeper Let's take 3 breaths here, expanding and sinking, expanding and sinking. And we'll walk ourselves back around to the front, just leaning forward, letting go of the head and neck. Then we can walk our hands around to the right side and bring that right forearm down. Inhale that left arm up and over. Again, we'll use the breath to expand the rib cage. So let's do it 3 times. Inhale, expand. Exhale, sink. Inhale to expand. Exhale to sink. Inhale, expand. Exhale and sink. We'll walk our hands back to the front. Releasing the head and neck. And walk our hands back in slowly. Let's switch the cross of our legs. Let's sweep the right arm behind us. Ground it into the floor and press yourself up nice and tall, lifting up through your spine and rib cage. Bring that left hand to the right thigh. Inhale tall. Exhale, taking a gentle twist to your right. Pausing to inhale again, lengthening up through the top of your head. Exhaling to turn farther. Let each inhale bring more length to that spine, and exhale to bring more rotation, if it's available to you. Perhaps looking over your shoulder. Relaxing back to center. This time sweeping the left hand behind the back, grounding down, lifting up the chest, bringing the right hand over, inhaling tall up to the crown of your head, exhaling with that gentle twist. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. So it goes. Perhaps looking over the left shoulder. Relaxing back to center. Let's bring our hands forward, coming onto hands and knees. You can use fists for wrists if it bothers your wrists to have them flexed like that. You can also try adjusting the angle of your hands. Something else might feel better. So with wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, drawing the abs in, sliding shoulder blades down the back. Imagine sliding your shoulder blades down to your back hip pockets. Lengthening your spine, lengthening your neck, making space between your ears and shoulders. We inhale to lift the chest and tailbone for cow pose. We exhale to scoop the abs in for cat pose. Inhale for cow. Exhale for cat. Inhale. Exhale. And coming back to neutral spine, let's just shift the rib cage from one side to the other. Now you'll get movement in your hips, but try to keep most of the movement in your rib cage, just shifting from side to side. And we'll come back to center. Now we're going to roll the rib cage. So we'll come into cow. We'll push the ribs to one side and roll up into cat and push the ribs to the other side. That's one time around, coming back to cow. Through cat. Around 2 times. Third and final time coming up. Reversing direction. Pushing the ribs out. Scooping into cat. Pushing the ribs out the other side. Coming into cow. That's 1 time. Take it around. Try just to move the rib cage 2 times. And 3 times. Nice. Now sliding the left foot back, curling the toes under. We're rocking on the balls of our feet. I forgot to take my socks off. Rocking on the ball of that foot. And then floating that leg up and across. So we cross the left leg over the right. Let's look over the right shoulder and rock that left heel on the diagonal. Now we'll float that left leg straight out, nice and straight and strong. We'll extend the right arm forward for spinal balance. We can hold it here. We can go out to a 45-degree angle if we like, a little more challenging. We can also sway back and forth. Imagine a fish swimming through the water. Coming back to stillness, coming back down to hands and knees. Take a breath. Sliding that right foot back, rocking on the ball of the foot. Loosening up the calf, mobilizing the ankle. And we'll float that right foot across the left and rock diagonally here, looking over that left shoulder. And then extending that leg straight out behind. Nice flexed foot, nice strong leg. Extending that left arm forward for spinal balance. We can hold it here. We can go to a 45-degree angle. We can sway back and forth. Coming back to stillness, coming back down to hands and knees. Let's bring our big toes together, open our knees wide, sink our hips back to child's pose. Letting the forehead float down to the mat, finding length in the spine, breathing and sinking those hips more and more down toward the heels. Let's inhale and exhale, taking our hands to the left side of the mat if you have a mat, or just to your left side if you don't have a mat. Perhaps you stack your right hand on top of your left hand. Now take a moment to really sink that right hip back down, and we'll bring breath into the right side of the rib cage. Let's inhale and exhale just back to center. Hands shoulder width, hips are sinking. Finding that length in the spine, coming back into our breath. And we'll inhale and exhale, taking our hands to the right with the left hand on top as an option. And we'll sink that left hip. And we'll bring breath into the left side of the rib cage. And we'll come back to center. We'll settle in, finding length and finding breath. So walk our hands in slowly toward our knees so we can sit up. I'm going to drop to one hip and swing my legs around. Coming to staff pose. If you have a strap, feel free to grab it. Also, feel free to sit on a blanket if you would like to. If you have a strap or belt, it goes around the balls of your feet, not your arches, but the balls of your feet. Stack the spine tall. Lift the sternum, pull the shoulders back and down. Just breathe. And lean forward ever so slightly. We're not rounding at all. We're just putting a little bit of stretch into the hamstrings here. Relax that. Put your strap down for a second. Let's bring the left foot in. We're going to hug it against sit up tall and press the chest forward. And we'll switch legs. Extend the left leg out, draw the right foot in, ground it, hug it, lift the chest, press forward. Relax it. Let's come down to our backs for a second. We're going to do a nice easy bridge just to bring some blood flow into our hamstrings. So you can drop down whatever way is comfortable for you. You can grab one leg and roll down. Let's plant our feet. Ideally, your feet are close enough to your backside you could brush your fingertips against your heels. You can also wrap your strap around your feet and hold your strap if you'd like to. We're going to ground our shoulder blades. We're going to put the body weight into the shoulders and the heels and feet. This is an easy bridge, so I'm not asking you to go super hard into it. We're not going to hold it. We're going to lift and lower a few times just to build some heat. So we'll inhale to lift the hips up and exhale to sink down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, sink. Lift and sink and lift and sink. A couple more. Your hamstrings have a couple of jobs. One is to bend your knee, but the other is to straighten your hip. So although this is primarily glutes, hamstrings are also contracting to straighten the hip. Let's relax down. Let's extend the left leg out. Let's draw the right leg in. If you have a strap, you're welcome to wrap it around the ball of your foot. If you don't have a strap, you just hug your thigh. So we're going to extend up, bring it down, and up, and down. 3 more times. 2 more times. Now hold it up. I want you to take a moment to make sure you're grounding that right hip down into the floor. Your leg is extended. You have a little micro bend here in this knee, but it's not super bent, just a little micro bend. Same thing with your bottom leg. It's extended, it's active, your foot is flexed. You can have a little micro bend. We're just going to hold here and breathe. And as we breathe, on our exhales, we might find we get a tiny bit more hamstring stretch. Drawing that foot forward, feeling the stretch right back here. This should not be painful, so don't make it painful. Couple more breaths. Let's release that down. Let's extend the right leg out. Keep that leg active, the foot flexed. You can draw the left leg in. Then you can hold the thigh. You can hold a strap or belt. We'll extend up, bring it down, up, down, 3, 2. We'll hold it up on 1. Again, we'll straighten the leg, but keeping that little micro bend here, also micro bend down here. Both legs are active, both feet are flexed. We're inhaling and exhaling, and perhaps we find a tiny bit more stretch as we exhale. Stay here for a few breaths. You can release that down. Set the strap aside for a moment. Let's just shake our legs out for a bit. Let's draw the left knee in. Let's bring the right hand to the left knee and the left hand to the left ankle. So we have opposite hand to knee, same side hand to ankle. Let's extend out through that right leg, and we'll switch it. Opposite hand to knee, same side hand to ankle. And switch. And switch. Opposite hand to knee, same side hand to ankle. Contralateral hand to knee, ipsilateral hand to ankle. I'm using big words today. A couple more switches. And one more time on the left leg. And one more time on the right leg. Let's hug both knees in. Let's roll them in a circle 3 times one direction. Reverse and go 3 times the other direction. Let's plant our feet a little wider than our hips. We'll windshield wiper the knees from side to side. Let's just roll onto one side. Bring ourselves back up. come to a kneeling position. We'll curl our toes under. Shift back onto the balls of our feet. On our next inhale, we'll lift to forward fold. As we exhale, we'll just sink down. Let go of the head, relax the neck. We can actually grab opposite elbows for ragdoll, swaying in and out, side to side, nodding the head, shaking the head, just releasing tension in the neck and shoulders and back. Our knees are still soft here, but we should feel a little stretch in those hamstrings. They are active here. Let's release our fingertips down to the mat. Let's inhale and lift halfway to a flat back. Still sliding shoulder blades down the back toward our back hip pockets, drawing the abs in, lengthening out through the spine. Let's inhale and exhale back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Let's inhale, sweep the arms up and rise. We'll swan dive down, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sweep up. Swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Circle sweep up. Swan dive down. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Sweep up. Let's come back to heart center. Let's step back with the right foot to a short stance, warrior one. So short stance, warrior one, we can keep our feet parallel, we can keep our hips square. We can lunge forward on that front leg, bringing the knee over the ankle. Keep the back leg straight, we're grounding that back heel down. You still have hip width space between your feet. Let's roll the shoulders back and have hands at heart center. We can have cactus arms, extend the arms up. Short stance, warrior one. Lift the upper body, sink the hips. And from short stance, warrior one, it's a short change to come into pyramid prep. So you straighten that front leg. If you have to adjust your stance a little shorter, that's absolutely fine. Moving into pyramid prep, I've got hands on hips. I could grab forearms behind the back or come to reverse prayer hands. Whatever works is fine with me. When you inhale, lifting the front body tall, and exhale, folding from the hip crease. Each inhale lengthens that spine, each exhale goes a little deeper. Coming to flat back. You should be feeling some stretch here in your hamstring in the back of your front leg, which is your left leg, I believe. If you've got blocks or cushions handy you want to put down here, and you can release down to that, to the floor. Just keep yourself high enough that you're not hurting your hamstrings. Make sure it's a manageable stretch for you. Breathe and sink a couple breaths. Whenever we're stretching, we need to take a few breaths because those muscles don't release right away. They think they have to guard at first. So they tend to resist for the first couple of breaths. And then they catch on that we're just stretching and they let go. Let's soften the front knee. Step the back foot up. We find ourselves in forward fold. We inhale to lift halfway. We exhale to fold. We inhale to rise up. Come back to heart center. Take a step back. The left foot, short stance, warrior one. So as before, parallel feet, hips square. Front knee bent, front knee over front ankle. Back leg straight, strong. Back foot grounded. Hands at heart center. Or cactus or extended. Get some lift in the upper body. And then from here, let's just inhale ourselves into pyramid prep. Hand options again, hip, grab arms, reverse prayer. Inhale, lifting the front body. Exhaling, folding the hip crease. Coming down to pyramid, getting that nice hamstring stretch, but with control. Right in here. Again, you can inhale and exhale, release lower, bringing your hands to the floor, blocks, cushions, whatever you've got, and breathe. Now we'll soften that right knee, step the left foot forward. Inhale to lift halfway. Exhale to fold. Inhale to sweep up. Exhale, coming to heart center. Let's move into our restorative portion of class today. The first pose I'd like to do will be one of those front body opening poses. And it's a variation of what we did earlier, it's a bridge. It'll be a supported bridge. And the way I'm going to do it today is with a bolster, a pillow, a blanket, whatever you've got to hold up the hips and lower back. So you may want to adjust what you use and how much you use to find your level of comfort. We will be holding this pose for about 7 or 8 minutes probably. So be sure you find something that works for you. Also, in a supported bridge, if you find like your neck is being crunched on the floor, like if this isn't comfortable on your neck, we can also put blankets under our shoulders to create some space for the neck. That would look like something like this. So with my shoulders elevated, I have more room for my head and my neck to relax. I can lift my hips and slide my bolster under. Now if we were in class and we all had blocks, we could use blocks here as well. Now I've got my feet about hip width apart. I can walk my feet a little wider apart so my knees fall in so I can just relax and release them. I also have an option to take my strap or belt and bind my thighs so that I just can release completely and not worry about my legs falling in or out. These are just options. So as we settle in, let's turn our palms up. Our arms can just rest on the floor. Let's just make a quick scan of the body. Does everything feel supported and comfortable? Can you just relax without any tension and feel fully grounded? And once you achieve that, close your eyes if you haven't already. Bring your awareness back into your breath. Maybe while we're here, we'll practice some heart-focused breathing. Just imagine you're breathing into and out of your heart. There's energy flowing through your heart.
Let's begin to deepen our breath. We can blink our eyes open. If you bound your thighs, you can release those. can slide out whatever bolster or cushion we're using under the back. And roll to one side. Bring ourselves back up.
Sometimes when I go to bed, I imagine I'm in a restorative yoga class and I have a pillow under my knees and I just try to find that nice sense of being fully supported and comfortable. So if you ever have trouble sleeping, you might consider just finding that spot where everything feels relaxed, grounded, supported. It's really a very peaceful feeling sometimes. I promised you hamstrings today. So of course we have to do Janu Shirshasana, which is our head to knee pose. So gather up as much stuff as you think you're going to want. Let's start with the right leg extended. And the left foot at the right thigh. I really recommend putting a rolled up towel under that extended knee because we don't want to lock it out. We want to keep it comfortable for several minutes while we stay in the pose. You can stack your bolsters, pillows, blankets just in front of your leg. I sometimes put it on my leg here, but it's either way is fine with me. Stack in front. And again, just want to make sure we have plenty of stuff here so we can lean forward and feel supported. You'll want to turn your head to one direction. And we're going to hold on this one side for probably about 5 minutes or so. And then I'll tell you when we'll switch to the other side. So again, just making sure everything feels grounded and supported and comfortable. Make sure you have enough height here that you're not straining your back to lean forward too much. And settle in. Let your eyes just drift shut. Come back into your breath. If you can't quite get comfortable, you might try sitting on a blanket as well to raise your hips up a little bit. Let's prepare to switch sides. Sit up slowly. Switching legs. Again, I'm placing a towel under my extended leg. So I've got my left leg out, my right leg in. I have my stack of stuff. Feel free to sit on a blanket. Make sure you have enough stuff into it. Let your eyes close. Try to let your shoulders melt down away from your ears. Let those legs sink into the floor. Let those hips ground down. Come back into your breath. of deepening the breath, blinking the eyes open, you can begin to sit up. So hopefully you're experiencing some release in these muscles, and not just the muscle itself, but the connective tissue, the fascia that surrounds the muscle. We take this time to let all that release. Sometimes it's described like wrapping around a sausage, and if that's tight, the muscle just really can't let go. So this restorative work hopefully loosens up that connective tissue as well. And of course, the breath work, the relaxation stimulates our parasympathetic nervous system. It brings us a sense of peace and calm. Coming to our final pose for the day, we'll do a relaxation. As always, I give you the option to do a corpse pose, Shavasana. You might want to put a bolster or a rolled up blanket under your knees to do that. I'm also going to be offering a reclined pose, very much like corpse, except that we're at an angle. So I've got blocks, but you probably have blankets, pillows you can pile up. And then you want to find whatever cushion or pillow you have that's the most like a bolster. And we'll make a little ramp with that. And you might want a couple of extra cushions or pillows beside you to rest your arms on. And you might want a rolled up blanket under your knees. I also have a washcloth to cover my eyes with. So if you're doing what I'm doing, you can back your hips up to the bottom of your bolster. Just lie back, feeling comfortable and supported. Again, if you want to prop up your arms on something else, that's great. If you want to cover your eyes. Let's just begin to scan the body. Starting at the top of the head, releasing any tension in your scalp, relaxing your forehead, relaxing the tiny muscles around your eyes, loosening your jaw, softening your neck, letting your shoulder blades melt down, letting your spine feel grounded and supported. Hips are sinking, legs are relaxed and loose. Feet just fall out to the side. We begin to follow our breath, observing the inhales and exhales. And if any thoughts wander through our minds, we can just acknowledge them, let them pass on through. As we go deeper into our final relaxation. You can remain in your final relaxation pose for as long as you like. But whenever you're ready, we'll deepen the breath. And bring movement to the fingers and toes. You can roll the head from side to side. And we can begin to sit up, finding a comfortable seated position. Taking a moment to stack the spine, roll the shoulders back, and lift the sternum. Bring our hands to heart center. And as I'm doing this class, it's almost Memorial Day weekend, so you can take a moment to reflect on what that might mean to you. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.